So, we got a fantastic question from a listener named Elton about former President Bill Clinton and his journey with heart disease. And his story, it's really more than just a celebrity health update. It actually pulls back the curtain on a huge, and I mean really important debate that's happening right now in modern medicine. Elton wanted to know the timeline, specifically, when did these heart procedures happen in relation to his presidency? And that's actually a super important piece of this whole story. Okay, so let's break it down. President Clinton's term ended in January of 2001. Now, his first big heart scare, the one that led to a quadruple bypass surgery, that was in September 2004, so about 3.5 years after he left the White House. Then, fast forward to February 2010, almost 9 years after his presidency, he needed another procedure, this time to put 2 stents in one of his arteries. To really get the full picture here, you have to remember the public image he had back then. During his presidency, Clinton was, well, kind of famous for his love of fast food. It became this running joke on shows like Saturday Night Live, right? The idea of him going for a jog and making a quick stop at McDonald's. So when doctors found out his arteries were seriously blocked back in 2004, he got the standard, top-of-the-line treatment. We're talking about a major surgical procedure to essentially build detours around the blockages that had built up over the years. And believe me, this kind of surgery is a massive industry. Hundreds of thousands of these are done every single year in the US alone. And the average cost for just one of these procedures, it's hovering right around $100,000. Wow. Now, it's a common surgery, it's an expensive surgery, and it's often sold as this ultimate fix. But here's the thing. What about the hidden risks? The serious stuff that can happen long after the surgery is over that maybe you don't hear as much about? Well, one of the biggest risks is a condition that hospital staff have this informal, kind of scary name for, pump head. See, during a bypass, a heart-lung machine does the work for your heart, but that machine can accidentally shoot tiny particles into your bloodstream, little bits of gas or fat or even plastic that can travel straight to your brain and cause a real cognitive damage. And the data on this is it's startling. A huge study in the New England Journal of Medicine tracked patients for 5 years after their bypass. What they found was that a staggering 42% of them showed a significant drop in their mental function. Think about that. We're talking memory loss, mood swings, just not being as sharp as you used to be. So you have to ask, with all those risks, does this incredibly invasive surgery actually help you live longer? Well, large-scale studies have found that for a lot of patients, there's no significant long-term survival benefit compared to just standard medical therapy. Things like medications and lifestyle coaching. And this gets to the real heart of the issue, doesn't it? A bypass surgery is basically a plumbing job. It just reroutes the flow around a clog. It does absolutely nothing to fix the underlying disease that's causing all those clogs in the first place. So the question becomes, could we treat the cause? For Bill Clinton, after that second procedure in 2010, that question became everything. It was a huge turning point for him, a moment where he decided to get off the train of just more and more medical interventions. He made a radical shift in his diet. I mean, truly radical. He adopted a strict whole food plant-based diet. That meant no more meat, no more dairy, barely any oil. His meals became all about fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. It was a complete 180 from his fast food days. A big part of this change came from the work of researchers like Dr. T. Colin Campbell. And their research points to something that is just revolutionary. The idea that this way of eating doesn't just prevent heart disease, it can actually reverse it, even after you've already been diagnosed. And let's be really clear here. This is not some wellness fad or a hopeful theory. Using intensive dietary change as a medical treatment has been studied, it's been tested, and it's been scientifically proven to work. And this just perfectly illustrates the two different philosophies. Surgery is about managing symptoms. It creates that detour around the problem. But this kind of diet, it's designed to treat the actual cause of the problem, the plaque that's building up, by stopping it in its tracks and even helping the body clear it out. And this is where Bill Clinton's story stops being trivia and starts being something that could be incredibly important for you or someone you love. It shows that there is a powerful, life-saving alternative to surgery, and it's something that's actually accessible to all of us. So if you're wondering where to even start, there are a couple of really well-respected options out there. There's Dr. Dean Ornish's program. He was the first to scientifically prove you could reverse heart disease this way. And there's also a similar program run by Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn at the world-famous Cleveland Clinic. And here's maybe the most important takeaway from all of this. These programs are not some fringe idea anymore. For anyone out there with a family member who's battling heart disease, you need to know that these programs, like the one from Dr. Ornish, are often available online, and they're covered by Medicare and a lot of private insurance plans. This is becoming mainstream. So in the end, Bill Clinton's very public health scare ended up shining this huge spotlight on a simple but honestly profound truth about the power of what we eat. It proves that even after decades of damage, our bodies have this incredible ability to heal. And it really leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? If our number one killer can be stopped and even reversed by what we put on our plate, what else is possible?